Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. Quite a few updates today. Pretty much all DC today. I don't see any other updates for any other movies that interest me at all. So let's get right into some DC topics. The first topic of the day is about Harley Quinn. This is actually coming from Variety. DC asked the Harley Quinn team to remove a scene from season 3 in which Batman performs oral sex on Catwoman. This is quite the topic today. In fact, Bruce Wayne, Batman, because we got that Ben Affleck and J-Lo Bennifer thing going on. It was kind of a all together thing trending today, so it's kind of interesting. But basically, it's this is what Halpern says. It's incredibly gratifying and free to be using characters that are considered villains because you have so much more leeway. A perfect example of that is in this third season of Harley Quinn, when we had a moment where Batman was going down on Catwoman, and DC was like, you can't do that. You absolutely cannot do that. And they're like, heroes don't do that. So we said, are you saying heroes are just selfish lovers? And they were like, no, it's that we sell consumer toys for heroes. It's hard to sell a toy if Batman is also going down on someone. So this is the topic of conversation today that was quite a bit going around. And yeah, there are people throwing out panels of like Oliver Queen going down on, I think it was, Black Canary and stuff like that. That tends to happen and things like that. So and Batman having sex and Batman having sex with Barbara Gordon and then an animated movie. And it's like there's so much things going around. But for me, when I'm looking at this, and they're specifically saying there's this scene in Harley Quinn, the animated series, which is not for children, is an adult animated series. Why would you be worried about selling toys, kids' toys from an adult animated series? That part don't make sense. Because kids, unless their parents are letting them watch Harley Quinn, the animated series, and are basing their idea of Batman from that series to buy a toy, then that's some weird ass parents. But to be, aside from being in the comics and everything, it's from an adult animated series. That should be leeway enough, because you're not selling toys. You're not selling consumer toys based off this series. A kid won't be watching this unless the parents are letting them to see Batman going down on somebody. And we're like, oh, I don't want to buy this toy anymore. They shouldn't be watching it anyway. So, but I digress. So that's an interesting, weird thing that but it does show that DC and even Warner Bros., they pick and choose what they want, the ones that they want to fight, and they try to win, even though it's very ridiculous. So, but anyway, let's move on to more DC content. All right, so this is going around. Eiza Gonzalez, she was also in Godzilla vs. Kong. Says she's got a big week. Excited is an understatement, and so people are running with this, and they're basing that tweet along with another tweet saying magic with the moon, and we're like, what is going on? What exciting thing is she doing? And so people are wondering, perhaps. Even Boss Logic put out a picture of Eiza Gonzalez as Zatanna. Is she going to be cast as Zatanna in that movie? Could be. I think she looked pretty good as Zatanna. I would totally say, yeah, that'd be pretty awesome, based off these two things. But it could be Marvel as well, because I'm looking at a big week. Excited is an understatement. And we're seeing the magic, and there's a moon, Moon Knight. I mean, that could definitely happen as well. But the magic catches everybody's attention. And yeah, it could be that. But I guess we'll have to wait and see if that truly happens. But a lot of things, sometimes Boss Logic does get heads up on certain people being cast as certain heroes. Like Robert Pattinson's Batman. That's why he was drawing Robert Pattinson's Batman. He heard in the industry that they were going to do that. And so he may be hearing this as well. Interesting. All right. moving forward, looks like finally get a look at Barry Allen in UK. So he's going around. People have taken pictures with him, and he's absolutely in the UK. And the one thing that people can take away from this is his hair. So definitely, I guess Barry Allen's going to have a little bit longer hair. It's going to look like that. And it's kind of interesting because that's almost the same hairstyle as Sasha Calle. She has the same exact hairstyle. I don't know if that means anything at all, but it's interesting that he would have that. But definitely he's going to be sporting that haircut there. So there you have it. That's a little bit of the Flash. A little bit more about the Flash. This is an exclusive from the Illuminati, that the Flash film will feature a cameo from the television show's Barry Allen Grant Gustin. This is not surprising at all. Not really surprising how they say that's going to be a feature, a surprise Grant Gustin cameo. But we saw that happen already. That was kind of what we were kind of expecting, because Ezra Miller showed up on with Grant Gustin on Crisis on Infinite Earths. We figured it will work the other way around as well. Maybe in a more cinematic feel and look to it. But we'll see if he has the blue or he has a new suit or the old suit. I don't know. But I think that actually does, was probably a scene or kind of a scene that was going to be in the Flash film anyway. So it's not really a surprise, but it's great to see, I guess, the Illuminati confirming that for us today. Grant Gustin's going to be in the Flash film, bringing all that universe, the multiverse together, and so on and so forth. So that's really cool. And then Andy Muschietti also put out something today. He put out just a picture of the suit, the emblem part of the suit of the Flash movie, right? And so you see a lot more of the design there. You see a lot of the texture there. And I'm thinking, just looking at these, that this is more than just, the texture and suit. It's probably going to light up. I'm probably thinking there's going to be some LED or some type of lighting or electrical, lights that come out here to make it flash and things like that. Even the lines over here will probably light up, just like in the concept art. Instead of digitally doing that, it will probably be physically, you can actually physically see that within that suit. Now, once again, this is a suit that Bruce Wayne, and I'm thinking Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne, actually develops for Barry Allen. Or it could be the suit that Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne. We don't know yet. We don't know which Bruce Wayne actually was. But I think it's Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne that actually creates the suit for him, and that suit has the yellow and everything, enabling him to go farther back. So that is probably going to be an actual device with physical effects and not just digital effects for that. So that's interesting. Makes me wonder if there's going to be other suits that are coming out. But the Flash was definitely kind of trending, but not so much, because today there was a Restore the Snyderverse. People started tweeting Restore the Snyderverse like crazy today. This is just a snapshot of what it was when I recorded this, which is 214k tweets. Yeah, 214. But I think it went over. I think it's like 220 or even more than that. And Twitter put it out on the 8th anniversary of the Superman film Man of Steel, which came out today. Man of Steel, 8 years. DC Universe fans call on Warner Media, soon to be Warner Brothers Discovery, to bring back director Zack Snyder to complete his vision for Justice League 2 and 3. Yes, definitely. We are definitely calling on Discovery to say, come on, man. Bring back Zack Snyder, complete his vision. It's a grand vision. It's a big vision. It's epic in scope. And the fact that, there was a lot of Flash content out today, but Restore Snyderverse took the spotlight. It did. It really did. I mean, if the Suicide Squad was going to say something, that wouldn't have stopped Restore Snyderverse for taking the spotlight either. It's amazing how much the Restore Snyderverse, it actually kind of just shadows everything else. Like, this is the most crazy, the most exciting thing that is coming out. And it does even show in my own videos too. Like, I've noticed that there are a lot more views in terms of people more interested in Restore Snyderverse than the other movies, like Gotham City Sirens and things like that. They're like, we think this is the epitome. This is the holy grail of the DCU is within the Snyderverse. And this is the most exciting thing people has ever seen for a while now. right? This is when Zack Snyder's Justice League, people, their interest and intrigue in DC just shot way up. They're like, oh, we do see a vision here. It's going somewhere here. It's absolutely going somewhere here. Why would you throw that away? It's definitely not a cul-de-sac. At least not a cul-de-sac until like 3 or something, you know? There's definitely a grand vision there, and, you know, hopefully Discovery saw that today and did something with it. But I do have a video after this, a few hours from now, that will get into a little bit of you know, Discovery and Restore the Snyderverse. But Zack Snyder decided to enter the ring as well, if you say. He posted this on Vero maybe about an hour or two ago, and it is a shot. You actually do see a shot, and let me see if I can get a little closer here. It's a concept art of when Green Lantern, John Stewart, actually visits Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne, right? And you see here, Bruce Wayne is shirtless, so he was cut. He's probably big and cut. And it was a nighttime scene because that's where all the green glow is for. So that was supposed to be what that was supposed to, this is what it was supposed to look like. And they also have footage because they shot this back then, where, Ben Affleck back then came out at night and he's shirtless and everything. They have that footage, and so that's why Zack Snyder wanted to shoot Wayne T. Carr as Green Lantern nighttime because it had to match up with the scene that they did back then. But unfortunately, Warner Brothers didn't want that John Stewart scene, and so he was forced to use a Martian Manhunter scene, reshot that with Ben Affleck, and it became like a Dawn scene, so with Martian Manhunter. But he also put out an interesting quote here from Joseph Campbell. He says, "We're in a free fall into future. We don't know where we're going. Things are changing so fast, and always when you're going through a long tunnel, anxiety comes along, and all you have to do to transform your hell into a paradise is to turn your fall into a voluntary act." It's a very interesting shift of perspective, and that's all it is. Joyful participation in the sorrows, and everything changes. Wow. What does that mean? There's a lot of thought into this. So, absolutely, Joseph Campbell, he's A Hero's Journey. He loves Joseph Campbell's work. And there's a lot of thought into these quotes here and these lines from Joseph Campbell. For this one, he's putting it next to, the Green Lantern scene. And yes, we're talking about, and today was all about Restore the Snyderverse. So he absolutely knew this was happening. We're in a free fall into the future. Meaning there's no turning back. We're always going forward. There is no, we can't go to the past and things like that. We don't know where we're going, right? Things are changing so fast. Time, situations, things are changing really quickly. We don't know where we're headed. Things can turn like that. So you can get in a car accident tomorrow. I don't want to be too morbid or anything, but basically things can happen. And always when you're going through a long tunnel, anxiety comes along because you don't know where you're headed. It's a long tunnel you can't see past. You can only see all the way down there. We don't know what's going to happen between here and there. And all you have to do is transform your hell into a paradise, is to turn your fall into a voluntary act. We have no choice but to move forward. We're moving into the future, right? And you may be thinking, you may have anxiety of going because you don't know where we're going. But what you can do is transform that journey into something that you want to do. You want to go forward. You want to go into the future. It's a very interesting shift of perspective. You don't have to think of it negatively. You have to think of, don't be pessimistic is what you're trying to say. Be optimistic. Be optimistic. And that's all it is, right? Joyful participation in the sorrows. Wow, someone just subscribed as I'm doing this? That's weird. But joyful participation in the sorrows, and everything changes, right? You participate in it. You be part of that life as you're going through the tunnel. Don't be pessimistic. Be optimistic to see what happens, right? And everything changes. The outlook changes. So to me, this is Zack Snyder being optimistic for the future. Things can change fast. They're even for him. He's going through. He's going to continue making everything he wants to make. And maybe at the end of that tunnel could be restore the Snyderverse. But he's also the message for us, because this is our hero's journey. This is our journey as well, right? You and me. Everyone watching now, everyone who's not watching, and me entirely. This is our journey. This is our long tunnel. Our tunnel to restore the Snyderverse. We can look at it in a pessimistic way that this is not going to happen, or we can be optimistic and keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Turn this journey, right, into this hellish journey, into a paradise, into something that we can celebrate, we can love and everything, and be optimistic that things could change that quickly and what could amount to discovery, restoring the Snyderverse. So to me, this means be optimistic. Change our perspective from being pessimistic, saying that this is not going to happen, it's never going to happen, to being more hopeful. And that's how we got this Snyder Cut, right? It's to be optimistic, to keep fighting, to keep saying, hey, release the Snyder Cut. So I think these are incredible words and great words, and I think this is a nice message from Zack Snyder. Just keep our hopes up, you know. Keep our hopes up, you know. One day, you know, hopefully, and we can, you know, restore the Snyderverse. So I think that's what he's trying to say here, along with a cool concept art of John Stewart. We got a little bit there until actually getting that Green Lantern scene. So that's kind of cool. Like I said, if you absolutely love this daily dose of entertainment news and content, please click the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, keep that hot dog light on, and restore the Snyderverse.